Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky back again, bringing you another quality content video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to increase your FPS in Fortnite and how to maintain a stable FPS when you're playing, even if you don't have a monster gaming PC, a gaming laptop, anything that has high-end specs. You'll probably be able to increase your FPS with this guide, and I thank you all for tuning into this video, and without further waffling, let's get right into it. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go down to this description and click on the link on there. There's a video of mine that is an FPS boost guide for all games. So head down there and click on the link and go over to that video just to see what you can do to increase your FPS in all games, Fortnite included. It was mainly for like Fortnite and Modern Warfare. And yeah, next step is the in-game settings. So in the in-game settings, this is where most people think that windowed full screen or windowed is going to give you more FPS, but it actually doesn't. Full screen, it looks better, obviously, and it does actually increase your FPS by about 3%. If you were to go from windowed full screen or windowed, you would get 3% more if you just chose full screen. Resolution, of course, 1280 by 720 is going to give you most FPS, but 1920 by 1080 is going to look the best. So you experiment with the resolution and see what's best for your PC. Alright, next up is the frame rate limit. What you're going to want to do with the frame rate limit, it depends on the refresh rate of your monitor. If the refresh rate of your monitor is 60 FPS, go one above it. Mine's 144, so I would go one above that 160, just so you allow some breathing room and you won't see dips below your monitor's refresh rate as much. Because if I were to go to 144, I would see dips below 144 because that's just the cap. I'm giving this a little bit more to work with just so I can have that. Except the graphics, these don't matter at all, but the graphics quality is where it matters. For quality preset, if you have a not so good of a gaming PC, put the quality preset on low and then work from here. 3D resolution, it's just, this is gonna look terrible. If you look, that's what it's gonna look like at the lowest possible 3D resolution. So yeah, that's a no from me. I'm sorry, but this is how it looks regular if you have all low settings. So it looks fine, and all of the settings are going to give you a big FPS boost. If all of these are off or on low, you're going to get a 33% FPS boost than if they were all on epic. I believe it's 33%. I don't know how much it actually is. It's somewhere around 33% though. So I usually keep my view distance on epic, shadows, all of this stuff on low if you want the highest FPS, but the view distance is where it's at. You got to keep that on epic. 3D resolution, mess around with this, see which one's best for you. If your PC can handle a little bit more, I would recommend 100%, of course, but if your PC can't handle it, go down to 50 or something and see what works. Just see what works best for your computer. VSync off all the time. Motion blur off. Motion blur's for scrubs. If you have motion blur on, you're already doing it wrong. And that's a good thing to point out. If you aren't subscribed, you're doing it wrong. If you have motion blur on, you're doing it wrong. Subscribe and turn motion blur off. Show FPS, I like to keep this on just so I can know how much FPS I'm getting. It's a nice little thing to have. It doesn't really interfere with your FPS at all. DirectX version, always keep this at DirectX 11. Because only some video card motherboards can do DirectX 12, and if you select DirectX 12 and you have the specs in order to handle it, you will get a lot lower of FPS, so always keep that on DirectX 11. So next up is allow multi-thread rendering. This, for not as good PCs, you're going to want to keep this off, because you'll see a lot of lower FPS drops and stuff, and it's just not good. But if you have a medium spec to high spec PC, I would recommend actually turning this on, because on the high-end gaming hardware, this is actually going to increase your performance rather than drastically decrease it, and you'll have hitches actually above your FPS than below when you're on weaker hardware. Next up, GPU crash debugging. Just keep it off. It does nothing to your FPS or the system. Just keep it off. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed, let me know down in the comments below. Like and subscribe also if you want to see more content like this, and I guess that's it from me. I think that is. That's it. That's it, for sure. That's it. I didn't forget anything, did I? No, yeah, that's it. I'll see you boys later. Peace.